Who's that dude? Y'all know that dude? I know that guy. I think it's me. In this video, we're gonna make a delicious traditional marinade for our carne asada, AKA South Texas barbecue. Today's carne asada is all about fajitas, and I'm gonna show you how to grill them perfectly. I like to call this my fajitas verdes, or green marinade, and you're about to see why. This recipe blends cilantro, parsley, oregano, olive oil, lime, lemon, and tomatillo together for a super delicious bite packed with bright and aromatic beefy flavors. Remember, we still do want to taste the beef along with the tenderizing and the flavor enhancing from the marinade. And that's done with the right measurements of ingredients and the right amount of time in the marinade. We're also going to add a base of ingredients here to round out that familiar flavor. And I'm also going to show you one more trick in this video to really layer on and pack the flavor, so y'all stay tuned for that. Now let's get fired up and grill some fajitas verdes. Vámonos! Boom! Hey friends, I have this huge announcement. I'm so excited and I'm pumped to share this super big announcement with you guys. My first cookbook is available for pre-order and it launches in the summer of 2025. That's just a couple of months away. I have over 100 recipes of barbecue, carne asada, comida casera, that means homemade, just like you see on this channel. And the full recipe for this video you're watching now is in this cookbook. And to order, all you have to do is click the link in the description of this video, and it really helps a lot if you pre-order, and you won't miss a chance to get one. So friends, thanks again for all the support. Without you guys, this book probably never would have happened. Y'all kept asking me for it, and I wanted to do it for a long time, so together, we have come up with this amazing cookbook. So click the link in the description and get you one, or 3. Share it with a friend or somebody that likes to cook too. Now back to the fajita verde recipe. Boom! First thing I'm gonna do is cut my lemon in half. So we're gonna squeeze that into this bowl right here. Apparently this is not quite seedless. There was one seed in there, and that's why I like to do this one first, because it's right here at the bottom. I'll be able to get those seeds out of there real quick like. Next up, we've got a lime. You want to try and find some juicy limes. The trick is to find some smooth skin on your limes. If you can get a smooth skin on there, you're going to be all right. They're going to be nice and juicy, just like this one. See that? Nice and juicy. We've got half a cup of orange juice. We're going to drop this in here. A 1/4 cup of pineapple juice. I don't want it to be a real sweet marinade, but I do like that little hint of magic that the pineapple juice puts in there. Up next, friends, is a tablespoon of OG. This is salt, pepper, and garlic. And we're gonna put a whole heaping tablespoon in there. You wanna get your salt and your garlic ingredient in there first so that the salt dissolves. And you want that garlic to start flavorizing the liquid as well. We have 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar. Now, you can use apple cider vinegar or regular vinegar. I have this already. It's a little more mellow. I like that it brings that little tart flavor to the marinade without being too strong. Next up, everybody's favorite watch your sister sauce, Worcestershire, Worcester. I just call it Worcester. Call it whatever you like. So we're gonna use 2 tablespoons of this. Super good stuff. 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. And you don't want too much of this, but it does add a really great flavor. Every once in a while, we're gonna give it a little whisk as we continue to add ingredients. So we'll give that a little whisk. Now here's the magic ingredient for tenderizing the meat. This is a teaspoon, but we're gonna use about half of a teaspoon. If I wasn't using lime and lemon juice and the rice wine vinegar, I would probably use a whole teaspoon. If you combine all 3 of them, it might be a little too much. We're only gonna marinate our meat today for about 4 hours, so those ingredients together will definitely soften up and tenderize those fajitas. 1 teaspoon of comino, which is cumin in English, and that was a heaping teaspoon, by the way. A teaspoon of oregano. This is Mexican oregano. I'm gonna measure that out. We're gonna put it right here. We're gonna give it a little extra flavor, bring out the bouquet of flavor here. Regular oregano will work. This Mexican oregano is usually a little more flavorful. Whisk it a little bit in between each couple of ingredients. I have my own home ground chile de árbol, so I'm gonna use about a teaspoon of that right there. That looks like a teaspoon to me. Let's roll. We're gonna stir this up. You don't want too much chile de árbol because that sucker got a bite. We're gonna chop up some of these veggies. So I'm gonna take this tomatillo And it's a fresh, not cooked tomatillo. And I'm basically gonna dice it up, drop that in here. And it takes 3 of these tomatillos. These also add a little bit more acidity and flavor and a little tartness to the marinade. Okie dokie. We're also going to throw in half of an onion. I'm just gonna cut this into slices like this. And that will do just fine. This is a lot of ingredients in this marinade. Trust me, friends, it's delicious. We're gonna also add 2 jalapenos in here, and we're just gonna kind of cut them up, add them to the marinade. All right, next up is a couple of garlics. Next up, friends, is the cilantro. And we're gonna take about half a cup here. By the time you chop it up and press it down, it's about half a cup. And about a half a cup of parsley. That looks like half a cup to me. These 2 flavors together, along with the tart ingredients that are in this marinade, brings an awesome flavor to your fajitas. It really is good on pretty much any cut of beef that you're gonna grill. Now, if you chop this up really, really fine, you don't have to blend it, but it really is better if you do. All right, let's get this all in here. Probably the best thing to do here would have been to put all the ingredients in the blender to begin with, right? That's what I normally do. I don't know why I didn't do that today. We're gonna use half of a cup of this olive oil. Let's dump that in there. Cool. You wanna just give it a couple of pulses. You just wanna break everything down a little bit. We just want to chop up the ingredients and make them a little bit smaller, a little bit finer. Woof. Much better like that. Yep. I have here 2.5 pounds of skirt steaks. This is an inside skirt steak. These are the true original fajitas. So I'm gonna trim these up real quick, cut it into 3. I'm gonna cut it into 3 sections here, approximately the same length. You wanna get some of this membrane off, mainly just so that the marinade and later on the seasoning can actually flavor the meat. You don't have to trim them completely and get down into the meat and steal some meat off of them. You mainly want this membrane right here. You need a good sharp knife with a little point on it like that. Then my saying has always been that. A good sharp knife makes the job a lot easier. So that's what we're doing today. You don't have to have 100% of it totally, completely off. You just want this membrane right here as much as possible. You want to expose the meat. And trust me, that marinade is going to do a job either way. But you just want that big excessive fat off of there. A lot of people don't know this, but there is a section on the inside skirt steaks that is more tender than the rest of it. The way you can tell is by the marbling right there. You can see that marbling. It's intramuscular marbling. Some of the fajitas have like very pronounced stripes like this. I call them tiger stripes. When you buy that cut, it's a very tough piece of meat. But when it has marbling like this, it's a tender piece of meat. This has marbling. This is gonna be my piece. I'm gonna give the rest of this to everybody else. I'm just saying. All right, friends, we're gonna pour some of this marinade on the bottom here. And we're gonna spread it around. Flip this piece on the bottom here. Make sure it gets all that flavor. We're gonna put a little bit more in here and add another strip of meat. Put a little bit more in here. Add another strip of meat here. And now for the big piece, you're gonna lay half of this in here like that. Put a little bit of marinade in between. Lay this down like that. Add a little more marinade on top. And we're gonna reserve some of this for my smoothie in the morning. I'm just kidding. We're gonna have something special with that a little bit later, so we're gonna set that aside. You wanna come back about every 30 minutes or maybe at least once an hour, flip these meats around, toss them around, make sure the marinade gets on every side of these fajitas. But for now, we're gonna take them over to the refrigerator, let them chill out for about 4 hours, let that marinade do its magic. Órale amigos, let's get fired up and cook some fajitas verdes. Vámonos! Alrighty now, let's get this fire under control over here. We're gonna do most of the grill with this charcoal. I'm gonna spread it out nice and even. We definitely don't need a dual zone setup today. We're cooking fajitas. They are best cooked straight over the fire. Let's get this grill nice and clean with a little cebolla. Ooh, look at that, look at that, look at that. Why do we use an onion to clean the grill? Number one, it does a great job cleaning. You can see that it gets all the soot off of the grill. That is not seasoning. That is not flavor, friends. That is soot. The other thing is that it smells amazing. It does add a subtle flavor to your meats. There we go. Now we're gonna lay it over here on the side. You can't cook fajitas in South Texas without a little bit of mesquite flavor in there. It is the best flavor for fajitas. So we're gonna throw a couple of these chunks in here and start cooking. Okay, amigos, let's get the first piece of meat on there. Here we go, right over the fire. Ooh, that's music to my ears. We're not even taking the marinade or seasoning off at all. We're just gonna drop them in there, right over the fire, my friends. Now, one of the things about marinated meats, particularly fajitas, there's a lot of moisture there, so you wanna leave your lid off. Let that fire stay hot because the moisture is gonna try to kill your fire and your eyeballs too. I'm just saying. I did forget to season them. I usually always put a little seasoning on here. So let's put a little wow on these fajitas. Whoop, whoop. Time to flippity flipper. Let's go, baby. Whoo, look at that. That is charred in a lickety split, as they say. Whoo, we got some heat, baby. Yeah, buddy, it ain't gonna take long for these to get done. Y'all remember the marinade we made earlier? We're gonna put some right on this fire here. We're gonna heat it up and we're gonna use it as a basting sauce. We're gonna flip these a couple more times and we will be done. I mean done. So we have a lot of fire going on here because we have some fajitas that had a lot of olive oil on them. Their moisture is staying in the meat. It's going back and forth each time we flip them. And so we're gonna go ahead and close this up, tame the fire down a little bit, let that butter melt. Whoo, baby. Looking good. It's been a couple of minutes. Time to flippity flip. How often should you flip? That really depends on a couple of things. Number one, how hot your fire is. Number two, how close is your meat to the fire? Number three, how thick is your meat? If it's a real thick piece of meat, you're gonna flip a bunch more times, and you can flip every 30 seconds, every minute, every 2 minutes. Really depends on how hot your fire is. Let's check it one more time. Check this out. Y'all see that moisture right there? When that moisture starts to come up to the top of the meat, you really should have flipped about 30 seconds ago because that moisture is gonna evaporate and be gone with the wind. What you really wanna do is keep it inside your meat. That heat pushes the moisture up. You wanna flip it before it evaporates. So flip, flip, flippity flip. And I'm gonna stir this marinade here. That butter is melting really quick. And that's what we want. We're gonna baste the meat with some of this right here. It really adds a lot more flavor, friends. And these fajitas are done, so I'm gonna slide them over this way. Get them from the direct heat. This one's a lot thinner, so I'm gonna get it way over here too. We're gonna give them a couple of more minutes and let that baste add extra flavor to the meat. And then we're gonna flip them one more time, check the temperature, make sure we don't overcook them, and then we're gonna go ahead and pull them out. Let's see what these green fajitas look like right now. They still have a lot of marinade up there on top, but we don't wanna lose our moisture. So we're gonna flip them one last time. And I'm gonna baste them just a little bit more here for extra flavor. All right, I'll be back in about a minute, friends, to get them out. They are ready to go. I can tell just by looking at them. I always say you need perfection. Get a good meat thermometer. Let's see where we're at. But let's check the fat one. 136, we are ready to go. Yeah, buddy. All right, let's get them out of here right now. I'm gonna put them right here on this little plate. Our fajitas are done. Hoo-wee. That took a whole 7 or 8 minutes. That was it, we're done. I can't wait to take a bite of these. They look amazing. The fajitas verdes have been resting for about 5 minutes. It's time to cut. So let's get these sliced up. Ooh, that's soft, really soft. Check that out. Whoo, baby. These are gonna be good. I can feel the texture's nice and soft. All right, let's get a tortilla on the cutting board here. Get a couple of slices. But before we eat the taco, let's give it a taste test. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Let's get this salsa here and put a little bit on our taco. The fajitas are really good by themselves. That salsa's got to make them even better. Let's see what we got. Cheers, my friends. Soft, tender, super flavorful. I could eat that. They're good, and they're damn good. These are damn good. The marinade did what it was supposed to do. It added a ton of flavor. Y'all need to try this out. These are really, really good. Incredibly delicious. Super moist, super good. Friend, I know you're gonna love it. It's just fantastic. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I certainly always have fun when I'm cooking for y'all. If you like the video, share it. Thank you guys. If you guys are interested in our American Pitmaster Company rubs, pitmaster.us. Keep the smoke light, make it work. Boom! These are good.